valuable insights into the safety status of Nigeria's aviation sector. He added that the audit's findings would help identify areas that require further improvement and enable the implementation of effective measures to promote safer skies. Speaking further, Olateru noted that Nigeria has one of the best safety records. He said, quote, Nigeria will have its audit at the end of this month and our scorecard will be opened. All I can say is that Nigeria as a country has one of the best safety records because safety is measured in various ways. It is measured by the number of accidents, measured by number of fatal accidents, measured by the number of serious incidences and occurrences. The fewer occurrences you have, the better you are, unquote. ECOWAS defense chiefs on Friday said there'd be a comprehensive approach that encompasses political, security, and diplomatic dimensions in addressing the situation in Niger Republic. The Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff, CDS, of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS countries, made this known at the end of their 3-day extraordinary meeting in Abuja. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff and President of the committee, General Christopher Musa, commend ECOWAS for standing firm for democracy, adding that the militaries of the member countries were firmly in support of their stand. He said the committee collectively recognized the gravity of the situation in Niger and the urgent need for a well-coordinated response. Musa added that they have also examined the immediate implication of the coup and its potential ripple effects across the ECOWAS region. Musa said the military chiefs agreed that there were no alternative democratic principles and rule of law in the region, adding that the coup in Niger represented blatant disregard for the fundamental principles that underpin regional integration and stability.
Throughout our discussions, we have collectively recognized the gravity of the situation and the urgent need for a well-coordinated response. Deliberations have been marked by a spirit of unity, cooperation, and determination to address the challenges at hand. We have examined the immediate implication of the coup in the Niger Republic and its potential ripple effects across the ECOWAS region. We have also deliberated on the broader implication for democracy, peace, and stability in West Africa. I'm pleased to note that our discussions have yielded valuable insights and actionable recommendations. We have acknowledged the need for a comprehensive approach that encompasses political, security, and diplomatic dimensions. It is imperative that we translate our deliberations into concrete actions that effectively address the crisis and prevent a recurrence in the future.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Dr. Ibrahim Kana, said Nigeria was committed to restoring democracy in Niger, but said military options would be the last resort.
War or intervention, military, is not our option of choice. It is the last resort. We want diplomacy to work, and we want this message clearly transmitted to the leaders of the junta in Niger that we are giving them every opportunity to reverse what they have done and to return the country to constitutional order. That failing, all other measures will be on the table, including the military option.
The federal government on Friday ordered the immediate closure of all land borders with the Niger Republic over the current political instability in that country. The policy, according to the acting Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, NCS, Bashir Adini Adewale, is in the best interest of both countries. Adewale, who was at Jiba border, Katsina State, to monitor the level of compliance, explained that the federal government has directed stakeholders in the border management to ensure total compliance. According to him, the service has deployed officers and men attached to the Joint Operations Team in the form of the border drill to implement the policies across all porous borders.
Could be some pains involved in this exercise. But then no pains is too big, no price is too big to pay for peace. We want peace in Niger, but we also want peace all over the sub-region. So this effort is to ensure that democracy is restored so that we can guarantee peace in Nigeria, and in the entire sub-region.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday, Friday, laid the foundation for 1,350 megawatts power plant belonging to NNPC Limited, with an assurance that all distribution bottlenecks will be removed by the government. The Gwangwalada Independent Power Plant, when completed, is expected to generate an average of 10.3 million megawatts of electricity per year, with an expected revenue of $800 million annually. The GIPP project, which is situated on 54.7 hectares of land in Gwagwalada, the FCT, consists of 3 powertrain blocks of 450 megawatts each. Each block will include 2 General Electric GT13E2 gas turbine generators, 2 heat recovery steam generators, 1 steam turbine electric generator, 1 direct air cooling condenser, balance of plant equipment, and a Black Start diesel generator. President Tinubu said the plant will improve power supply to homes and businesses, adding that through the project, jobs will be created for young professionals and local communities. The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has said it has commenced the process to pay all depositors of 182 banks affected by the recent revocation of the licenses by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The affected banks include 178 microfinance banks and 4 primary mortgage banks. 62 of them had already closed shop, 74 were declared insolvent, while 12 were temporarily distressed, and the remaining 6 voluntarily liquidated. Managing Director, NDIC, Alhaji Bello Hassan, gave the assurance on Friday while speaking during a 2-day capacity-building workshop organized for senior management staff of the corporation in collaboration with the Bureau of Public Procurement, held at 4 Points by Sheraton Hotel, Ikonekpele, with theme Result-Based Procurement, a Strategic Approach. Hassan, represented by the Executive Director Operations, Alhaji Mustafa Ibrahim, said the corporation would not compromise standards and would also ensure that no room is left for public panic over the safety of bank deposits. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has said the commission will continue to welcome suggestions that will improve future elections and Nigeria's electoral process. Yakubu made the statement in Abuja on Wednesday at the Commission's meeting with critical stakeholders in its bid to review the 2023 general elections. He lauded the contributions of all to the improvement of Nigeria's electoral system.
Technology for voter accreditation and result management has been one of the issues raised and recommendations made. The issue of electoral logistics, so that we'll open the polling units promptly across the country in all elections. It was identified as one of the issues that we need to address. The question of voter registration and collection of PVCs is something that we need to go back to the drawing board. And then those that require administrative action by the Commission, we will deal with them.
Nigeria's Chief of Naval Staff, CNS, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, has vowed to quash illegalities within the country's maritime domain. Vice Admiral Ogala reiterated the pledge at the end of a familiarization tour of formations and units within the Eastern Naval Command ENC headquarters in Calabar, capital of Cross River State, southern Nigeria. Ogala, accompanied by top officials of the Nigerian Navy, including Flag Officer commanding the Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Olushola Ologbire, assured of the Navy's commitment to provide adequate security in the maritime environment for economic activities to thrive.
We are going to improve our surveillance capability because we want to be able to strike the criminals even before they go into the act. We want to arrest them while they are planning, while they are thinking about it. We don't want to be on the defensive. We want to take the war to the criminals and get them even before they start the act. This we can only do through proper intelligence, both human intelligence and using technology. And that's why we're trying to extend the coverage of our maritime domain awareness capability, the Falcon Eye, to the backwaters, which is the creeks.
Ahead of the governorship election in Kogi State, a former commissioner for information and chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, in Kogi State, Dr. Tom Ohikere, has pledged to ensure the victory of the party's candidate, Alhaji Ododo Ahmed Usman. The APC chieftain, who is an ally of Senator Smart Adeyemi, one of the governorship aspirants in the last gubernatorial primaries in the state, made the declaration shortly after meeting with a delegation led by Ododo, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Barrister Momodu Salami Ozigi Didat, and Commissioner for Solid Minerals, Engineer Bashir Gegu. Dr. Ohikere, who promised to bring back Senator Adeyemi to the fold, emphasized that the APC cannot afford to lose Kogi State.
In Kogi State, we have experienced politicians coming together under the All Progressive Congress with varied interests. For example, in the last gubernatorial election in Kogi State, I, Dr. Tom Ohikere, believed that the gubernatorial location this time should go to Kogi West, especially should go to Senator Smart Adeyemi. But as God will have it, leadership is an act of God. As God will have it, it is located in Kogi Central. Who am I to fight the cause of God? And the person that was even giving is my own junior brother. Will I start fighting myself? So I have decided to play by the wish of God.
While highlighting the developmental milestones of Governor Yahaya Bello's administration, Ohikere noted that the APC governorship candidate as Auditor General for local governments was one of the brains behind the evolution of a 32-year development plan for the state, expressing optimism about the prospects of a greater and even development of the state by an Ododo-led administration. The National Examinations Council, NECO, says no fewer than 1,205,888 candidates registered for its ongoing 2023 Senior School Certificate Examination, SSCE. Registrar, Chief Executive Officer, NECO, Professor Dantami Ibrahim Ushishi, discloses while monitoring the conduct of the examination in some schools in Jos Plateau State. According to a statement by NECO Head of Information and Public Relations, Aziz Sani, the registrar revealed that 601,074 candidates are male, while 814 are female out of the total figure. The examination body expressed satisfaction with the general conduct of the 2023 SSC based on reports obtained from across the country, noting that the examination, which will be concluded next week, is the best organized in recent years. It further stated that measures put in place to check examination malpractice have started yielding positive results, while expressing satisfaction with the conduct of the examination in all the schools monitored. In foreign news, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has been given a 3-year jail sentence over corruption allegations. A court in Islamabad found him guilty of not declaring money he had earned from selling state gifts. He denies the charges and says he will appeal. After the verdict, Khan was taken into custody from his home in Lahore. Khan is facing more than 100 cases brought against him since his removal, charges he says are politically motivated. A Russian tanker with 11 crew members has been hit in an Ukrainian attack in the Black Sea. This was stated by Russian officials who said the vessel's engine room was damaged in the overnight strike in the Kerch Strait. No one was hurt. Ukraine has not publicly commented, but a Ukrainian security service source told the BBC a sea drone had been used. Saturday's attack is the second in as many days involving such weapons. Russia, however, has not admitted any damage during Friday's attack. Naval drones or sea drones are small unmanned vessels which operate on or below the water surface. Research by BBC Verify suggests Ukraine has carried out several attacks with sea drones. In sports, the round of 16 clash between the Super Falcons and the Three Lionesses of England on Monday may not be as tense as many Nigerians think, if declaration by midfielder Tony Payne is anything to go by. Since England's 6-1 pounding of China on Tuesday, which pitted the Three Lionesses against the Super Falcons, many Nigerians back home have been apprehensive, asking if the coach Randy Waldrum-led ladies have what it takes to stop the English team. But Payne has declared that Nigeria has what it takes to scale the English hurdle. She admitted that England, champions of Europe, are a very strong team, however adding that the Super Falcons are equally a strong side in the tournament. Spain reached the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup for the first time after producing an outstanding display of firepower in Auckland to send Switzerland out. La Roja were beaten 4-0 in their final group game by Japan 5 days ago in Wellington, but bounced back in style to score 4 times during a dominant first half, showing in front of 43,217, a record crowd for a football match in New Zealand. Aitana Bonmati swept the Spanish side ahead before Switzerland equalized when Laila Kudina, without looking up, hit a back pass past her own keeper and into the net from 10 yards inside her own half. Spain soon restored their lead through Alba Redodo's header before Barcelona midfielder Bonmati produced a classy finish to make it 3-1. Mikel Arteta considered his future as Arsenal manager after last season's title disappointment until deep reflection persuaded him to stay put. The Gunners led the Premier League by 5 points from Manchester City before consecutive draws with Liverpool, West Ham and Southampton proved costly. Arsenal's next game was a heavy defeat at City, who went on to win the title by 5 points from the London side. And that has been Citizen FM News at 6. I am Bolawala Makinde. Good evening.